This is a big question. Why CueCam? What purpose does it serve? I'm not going to answer that question, but I'm going to let a video from somebody else paint a picture. I was watching YouTube and the founder of Airbnb was telling his life story. And during that, he talked about something he learned from Walt Disney that I think has relevance to that question.
You were talking about being, I think, 25 years old when Walt Disney inspired you.
Yeah. Folly. Folly is the title of the chapter about Snow White. And they called it Folly because they named it Disney's Folly. And the reason they named it Disney's Folly is because he bet the entire company on this feature-length animated film. And everyone thought that was this terrible. The company's going out of business. And I thought, I was reading that chapter, and that's when a light bulb went off. He basically invented the storyboard for that movie because the movie was so long, right? No one had done a feature-length animated film. They had to storyboard out the scenes. And I remember thinking to myself, once I read that chapter, I said, what if we created a storyboard of the perfect vacation on Airbnb from the time you book to the time you check in? And what if we literally designed the end-to-end journey? You might call this service design. And this became a guiding light to how we design our service. We didn't just design the screen, the apps, the emails. We designed the experience, the end-to-end experience.
So you can see now that describing something from the imagination, it used to require a movie studio of scribing each picture and sequencing each element of the story in order to present something that was compelling, that could be built or it could be achieved. And this is what he brought into Airbnb, and we've seen what's going on now. But he thinks there's a bigger purpose.
Somebody once said, numbers are the language of business. And I remember thinking to myself, no, language is the language of business. Numbers is just the only way we have to measure them. But that you ever notice there's 500 companies in the Fortune 500. How many of them are creative people? I don't know how many, but like I might be one of the only ones that went to design school. They have boards of directors. Let's say there's 12 or 10 people per board. So that's like 5,000 board members. How many of them are creative people or designers or people from the humanities? Not many. How many CEOs have creative people reporting to them? Not many. And so we have this world now where many people are dissatisfied with the way the world is. We are often given two bad options. We tend to be fighting zero sum when we could imagine something better, but we don't have a lot of people in positions of power that can take creative leaps of the imagination and really understand how to design something better that we're in right now. And I think creativity is kind of being systematically squashed from maybe corporate America. You know, Pablo Picasso said, it took me 4 years to learn to paint like Raphael, but a lifetime to learn to paint like a child.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it? And when you think about the vacuum that's created when you're online and distributed, he really makes a point that deserves to be explored with the new tools that we have at our disposal to be able to script and describe what we imagine. I'm going to look at this presentation that I just showed. When we look in at this card here, notice that I have it set up to go to the next card when it finishes. So that's where you get that transition of here's the book. Now, here is him reading from the book. And these others, I trimmed these from a larger piece that I use my iPhone to take off of YouTube. And we now have a complete system that enables me to generate ideas from what other people express.